What's the schedule for today? So the main learning takeaways for today is you will discover the IT freelance market, most in Belgium, step by step on how to start, how to succeed, where and how to focus, and IT back. So let's go. First of all, disclaimer, all of these slides are based on my personal experience, my ideas, colleagues' experience in the same area, and some statistics just because I like it. They reinforce what I want to say. And always local advice for local accountant or lawyer is highly recommended. On me, I'm Brazilian, for real, 70 years career in IT, experience in many areas like government, oil and gas, banking, telecom, etc. And now I'm in biotech. I'm in Belgium since 2017, so 4 years as employee, then 2 years as a freelancer. So I experienced both sides of the game. My profile is software development and architecture. My stack is backend, Java, web, so software for enterprises. So about the market, globally, what we have, most of the money of the market, the power of the IT industry is in the USA, around 20% in Europe. That's not so small, it's quite huge as well. So where we are in Europe, so first one in Europe is Germany, of course. They have bigger revenue and the bigger population, so about 8 times more than Belgium. So we are more or less number 9, 4 billion market, quite good. Population of 11 million. So regarding the 27 of the European Union, we're more or less in position 8. Germany is always number 1 in terms of population. So this slide you can have an idea of the good markets to target if you want, if not Belgium. Economically speaking, so Belgium is over the average in terms of social index in digital economy. So we have number 9, quite good as well, comparing the all 27 European countries. So some numbers from IT turnover, shift d'affaires in Belgium. So we are growing constantly for years. COVID had some impact, 2020, beginning of 2021, but we are recovering quite well, continuous growing, so going up. So IT market revenue, so the revenue for the IT market is something bigger than the revenue for the software development market, like 4 billion software development. IT market is much bigger than this, so around 11 billion in dollars. So constantly growing, that's good. So what's happening in Belgium? But job vacancies are increasing by around 4%. We have 184,000 positions as employee or permanent, about 30,000 freelance or contract, temporary, etc. So we are about 15% of the market in this year, 2022. So where are the job vacancies? How they are distributed? So as much of you know, if not everybody, Belgium is divided in 3 regions, main regions. So we have Flanders, which speak Dutch. We have Wallonia that speaks French, and Brussels, quite international, the capital, part of Flanders area, but independent. So most of jobs are almost 70% is in Flanders. If you see on the right, you have Flanders has a bigger population, so it explains a lot. And then Brussels, and then Brussels and Wallonia. Brussels quite small, but being the capital, a lot of jobs available, a lot of work in there. So in IT, high demand, as most of people know. So we are in high demand. So true nowadays. We are like the opposite Tinder. So we escape from recruiters and phone calls and emails all day long to work, to be able to work. So we don't have time to to answer these hundreds of emails and messages and phone calls. That's good for us, but bad for recruiters. So what are the difficulties? So finding talent is difficult. Finding people with the right soft skills and in some areas is very difficult. So the three main difficulties are related to finding people with the experience, with the right skills for the right area and for the right sector. So who we are, what we do for a living. So most of us in the software and the IT career is a young profile. So the majority is less than 10 year or around 10-year experience. So it's quite hard to find more senior profile. Also, we have majority declares themselves as full stack. They do front end and back end. Almost 50%, it's my case. I'm mostly back end. And then front end, the guys that do the beautiful screens for you, about 27%. So the market wants normally people in the average, they are willing to hire this mostly 6 to 10 year experience. So senior profiles are rare, high paid, they are better paid. They are in a hunt right now for this profile. So what we have in IT. So we have a mix of careers, people from different areas, development, engineer, physics, mathematician, but we have also business administration profiles, mix. They just learn how to do it and start doing it well. So they are in the market. So and also in Belgium we have to deal with these regions and languages. So Wallonia French and Flanders Dutch. In Brussels is quite international, mostly English, but the lack of professionals is moving the market to accept people that speak English, and that's it. So quite a diverse profiles and careers in IT. So we have developers, database people, testers, business analysts, project managers, a lot of people, network engineers, infrastructure. So a lot of people. So this is a panorama, the outlook of European ICT profile, the family tree official for the European Commission. So what are the business areas to target here in Belgium? So mostly in Brussels, you see the European Commission. The European Commission is quite huge in Brussels. So government, with local government as well. So government from Flanders and from Wallonia, and then maybe require some language skills aside of English. So also a lot of banks and payments and fintechs, so pharmaceuticals and biotech. Many industries, very industrialized companies, so a lot of work in industries and manufacturing. We are also strong in automobiles and aviation, so a lot of work in there. So telecom as well, and service providers and IoT automation, since we have a lot of industries, so automation is quite network. So we have a lot of positions. Market is open. So I believe this reality is everywhere. South America, North America, Asia, or Europe. So a lot of positions in IT. So filtering here is about the contract position. If you filter in LinkedIn, you can see a lot of, depending on what you search, my profile Java, for example, about 800 open positions right now. So who are the frequent players that are quite frequent high writing contracts in freelance? So we live from contracts. So the market works like this. Big companies like airport or car company, I don't know, big ones, European Commission, they hire these intermediate companies, sourcing companies normally. They never hire, it's not common to hire directly a freelancer because we are one, two, small company, not a lot of people, so they mitigate the risk, right? Hire they contract these intermediate companies, as you can see on the screen. And that companies offer you a contract rate per day, per hour, or something like that. Normally stable long-term contracts. what are the average of rates in there? So normally per day or 8 hours a day. So we go in average, so it can be smaller, it can be bigger, but we go in average from 300 euro per day to 700 euro to your company, not to you, that age. So to be in this scenario, it's not the developers, the software people that create a website in 1 week. It's not this kind of work I'm talking about. I'm talking about long-term contracts, etc. So the focus for these rates is mid-term to long-term contracts, business to business projects. You are normally in a team. The team is not working alone, so they need normally experienced profile experts. Mid to senior normally is the preference, since they cannot hire permanent people quite fast, right? Immediately they start going freelancers to solve the problem. So considering the taxation, so what's expected is average, but you have to talk to your accountant to see that in detail. That's about 25% for companies. And we have other stuff to pay, not only taxation, we have social security, a lot of things. If you have employees, we have social charges for your employees, but the VAT in Belgium is 21%. So companies normally don't pay when you buy things, this VAT, but when you charge for work, you charge with this VAT of 21%, except if you being hired by external company that's not in Belgium, Luxembourg, or Germany, or the UK, for example, you pay deduct VAT, so they deducting directly the VAT, they pay you net. So what's the rule of the game? Revenue, that's basic mathematics, the normal market. Revenue plus minus expenses is equal to profits. Not exactly this. In fact, for us, revenue less business expenses, we arrive to the taxable base, and that taxable base will be calculated the taxes, and then you pay the tax, and then you have your profit. This imports, so I will continue the next slide. What are the business expenses examples allowed in Belgium? Like the services you pay, lawyer, accountant, telecom, energy bill, device you need to work, laptop, etc., smartphone, everything that you need to work. If you commute, fuel and transportation, commuting costs, company car if you use for the device, or furniture for your office. You may work at home, but you have an office, you have a table, a chair, mouse, keyboard, a lot of things. Coffee machine, so everything is included in this operational expenses. So the money that the company needs to pay. So when you buy things, since you are a company, you're not the final consumer, you don't pay VAT, so you can buy a company car, coffee machine, top without VAT, just to let you know. If you buy outside of Belgium, no VAT, because foreign countries don't pay the VAT. It's a local taxation. So being an employee or being a freelance is your decision. It's a way of seeing things. It's the way you work. They will program your career. So employees, they normally have stable things like monthly salary, pension contribution, yearly vacation, etc. End of year payments, sick days cover, meal voucher, etc. And some companies have a lot of optional things like insurance, extra, phone, smartphone, company car, gym, or participation in the profits, end of year, shares, a lot of things. But freelancers, you're by at your own, yourself for, for your company. So you have your monthly revenue and daily rate multiplied by the number of days you work, and that's it. And then you decide the personal salary. I will detail this later. And you have a lower pension than a normal employee, so you have to foresee the future by some savings. So I'll talk about that. But you manage your budget as you wish, in the way you wish. You buy what you think you need. You work in the way you think you need. If you like a contract, you work. If you think it's not interesting, you finish and go to another contract. That's how it works. So here, being a freelancer can be independent of company. Independent means you are one main company, so you and the company are the same entity. So they are not separate from each other. Taxation is simple, single taxation, direct taxation, but high. So as a company, you have some different ways of operation. So you operate a bit different. So you are the manager, director of your company. So like employee of yourself, like employee of the company. So you may have employees or not. You may have a partner, associates or not. If you wish, it's a normal company, like any other. So you have normal taxation. You, the physical person, and the company has taxation, and then you have if the dividends you can may get later. They are taxed, but smaller than the normal taxation. If you get the money right now, if you get the money in the future, so that's taxation. So yeah, so the company has remember the company has taxation after business expenses, including your salary. Your salary is an expense to your company. So how the contracts look normally? Fixed term contracts, as I mentioned before, no 1 week websites, not the goal in this kind of contract. So normally 3 months or 6 months or 1 year renewable. Normally they are renewable because software is not easy to make and to maintain. We take years, approximately take years, so we do that for years, about 1 to 2 years. Aside of small projects, but normally we do for long term. Normally they renew. If your work experience is finished, so they just don't renew. Thank you, goodbye. You search the next contract in the market. The rate is per day or per hour, so it depends. So normally, if it's per hour, it's 8 hour a day. Even though for employees in Belgium it's like 7 hours and a half by the Belgian law, but for freelance we normally calculate that in 8 hours contract. There may be an exception, but normally like this. So paid every month, but pay attention. The payment terms depends on the contractor that's hiring you. So you may receive, you work the full first month, for example, and then you receive 7 days later. For other companies, it's like you work 30 days and then you invoice, and then 30 days later they will pay. So the difference. So the contractor receives from the client first, and then they pay you some days later. So the average in the market right now that I see is 1 to 2 days per week on site. The rest is normally home office. And there are also, of course, some full remote contracts, but it's not the average. It's just a small percentage. So how much money you need to start as an initial process to have an idea? So if you choose the SRL, 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 the limited liability company, the normal company, so it's around €2,000. You may start alone or with an associate together. If you choose different types, S.T.E.M, you have no limited liability, but you have no associate cost, notary, etc. It costs less, you can start with less. But the law nowadays say that your capital may be zero, but you need some money to start because you pay some stuff in the beginning. Your account will cost from 150 to 300 euro a month. That depends on how many hours your account works. So the pension funds are mandatory, but they are per trimester. So in the beginning, it's around 800 euro per trimester. So you start your company, but you pay your the trimester. That's right now in progress. For some contractors, pay attention. The first money will come only in 60 days, so you must have some savings to survive this first 6 days, and then it's normal every month you receive your income. But pay attention. In the beginning, we may stay some days without any money in the company account. So, and for some Some companies in the private market normally are more aggressive. They work with 7 days at the end of the working month, so they pay faster. So, but after, it doesn't matter. You just receive every month. So it's just the difference in the beginning. So step by step to start. So what you have to do, how to proceed. You don't go crazy and just open a company. You first talk to people, talk to recruiters, contractors, find job, and then you have to quit your job, and then give notice period. So it takes time. So the companies accept to wait 1 month and have some of them accept 2 months waiting for you. So do everything right, correctly in the beginning. Then you contact a local accountant, get advice. They explain what to do, and they say open a bank account, choose this type of company, etc. etc. They help you in the process. And then you may open your business bank account. Go choose your bank, your preference bank account. So, and then you register the VAT. Everything is connected, so the money, the capital will go in the bank account. You register your VAT if you choose SRL. The notary will unlock the money in the bank account, pay the expenses of the beginning of the registration, etc. And then, if you register in Belgium, you have to declare your pension status as independent. You are not an employee anymore. You quit your job, so you have to declare to the commune this new status. And then, in more or less 1 month, you are operating. So you start 1 month before, contracts, etc., bank account, make the paperwork, do the paperwork, and then we can start operating. So talking a bit about the market, so what's the IT? IT is a lot of things, huge. So I want to give some tips, so I clean up this huge amount of things. So by giving some statistics to guide the people that are trying to enter the market. So what are the common, for example, for developers, common programming languages most active in GitHub, for example, Ruby, Python, Java, JavaScript, PHP, C++. And aligned with C++, C, for example, C# to the side Microsoft. So another source, we put Python, C in the top, and then Java and then C++. So you may have new projects in Java and Python and legacy projects that you are hired to maintain in C++, for example. So a list of most active technologies in GitHub. So you can see PHP, CSS, front-end technology, etc. But in the top 5, top 10, you see the most needed in the market. Indeed. So if you specialize in this technology, you have more job in the market. So in high demand right now, that's my vision. I see a lot of contacts from recruiters, companies needing this kind of technology. Here I give more or less an overview of programming language in high demand. So front-end technology, second line. So infrastructure and cloud, that's in high demand. And then the e-commerce, some e-commerce technologies, they are demanding. On the bottom, some database technology in high demand. So business intelligence for the ones that are in the market, and ERP, SAP is the most used. Some other tools for Elasticsearch, proposal for portal. So if you have 2 or 3 of these technologies in your hands, in your CV, quite be in high demand for freelance work contracts. So you have to evaluate yourself. You have quite a good number of experience. So the training course, you are aligned with the market. You have certifications, have years of experience. Maybe that's for you. So we are owners of our own career. So it means we must progress by ourselves. So you should progress by yourself. You should find knowledge training, improve your skills. So these are some common partners, some common companies that provide training, online training courses, and etc. You can even find some free, like in Harvard or Stanford, Oxford, or MOOC. They are for free. If you don't have enough money to pay the top ones, you go for the free layer, but of course you find something to improve your skills. So you progress, but how to check this? You share in LinkedIn when you progress. Your CV is up to date. You put your new trends, experience, your CV. You tweet the knowledge, the sharing, the certificates, the things that is happening to you and to your career. That's a good indicator. So do this. So on the top you have GitHub or that are developers. So post your projects on GitHub. Integrate, share. That's a good tip. So what you can do also, you can add certifications to your CV. It's quite a valuable thing to have in the market. So they like a lot. This it improves your knowledge. They value you as a professional. So you may try this. A bunch of examples here, but there are much more. So also you can do this. You can share knowledge. Maybe you're quite experienced, but you don't share anything. You just mute person, silent person in the corner. So why not talking about what you know? Where you can talk about or learn. You can take part in groups and communities, software, your career oriented. There are groups everywhere in Facebook. You can follow on Twitter to be part of this. You can contribute to open source projects. You can gain visibility based on this. You write technical articles, blogs, share knowledge yourself or from others, but things that you think there are interesting things. You share on LinkedIn, Twitter. You'll be present in meetups, conference, answer questions in Stack Overflow. You gain visibility, trainings, courses. You find a good accountant. So have a good internet connection. Your company can pay for that. Saving a pension plan. You must need that. Have insurance, have juridical assistance. So buy good equipment, company car, everything that you need for your transportation, your gadgets, your security stuff, your productivity, software license. Save for taxation. They arrive later, so you need that. Avoid immediate taxation by paying your small salary. So you can get dividends later with lower taxation, and then you can use also for copyrights that can save you money, lower immediate taxation. So these are some ideas for you.